So we're going to be solving the best time to buy and sell stock problem. And you're given an array of prices, and the prices of I is the value or given stock. So what you want to do for this is solve and find the max profit. In the case of this, which is example 1, you want to find that 1 and 6, and the value in between there would give you the max profit. So you want to buy at 1 and sell at 6. And you wouldn't want to have like 5 and 6. That would only give you a profit of 1, and 1 and 6 is the max profit. So to do this, you would want to have 2 indices and keep track of the max amount of profit. So these would all be starting at 0, and then your right index would be starting at 1. So let's have max profit. So let's just call it max P equals 0. And then let's have your int right. So this is an int right index is 0, or sorry, your right index would be 1, your left index is 0, int right equals 1. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are your indices values in this array, and you'd want to search through this entire array. This is your left index starts at 0, right index starts at 1. And as you go through this, you will continue to move the left and right index to the right, and that would be simulating going through time. So at 7 is your initial value. You want to compare your right and left index. So you would be comparing right. If you'd want to check if your right index is a value less than your left index. Is it less than your left index? Yes. So you wouldn't have to go through and check anything else. So then you would change your left index to your right index, and then you would want to change your right index plus 1. So this would look like your left index is equal to your right index. So your left index is there, and then your right index would be now plus 1. So you plus 1, and now you would compare it again. Is your right index less than your left index? No. So then you would have another check to see if your right index minus your left index value. So this would be your prices of right index minus prices of left index. And if that is equal or greater than the max profit, then you would change the max profit. So 5 minus 1 equals 4. Yes, it is greater than your max profit. So you change your max profit value to 4. And then you would continue through this. You would increment your right pointer 1 when this happens, while also checking if your right index is less than your left index. So incrementing that, right index is there. And then, so is your right less than your left? No. 3 is not less than 1. And this would be prices of R and L, just to make that clear. And then, so no, and then you would then check prices of R minus L. So is greater than, if it's greater than max profit, then you do that. So let's do that again. So 3 minus 1 is not less than 4. 2 is not less than 4. So you would not change your max profit, and you would increment your your right pointer. You increment your right pointer, you always increment your right pointer. So now you're comparing 6 and 1. So let's do that again. Right is less than left. No. So you continue on to the next check. Prices of R minus prices of L. So that is 6 minus 1 equals 5. So yes, that is greater than 4. So 6 minus 1, 5 is greater than 4. So your max profit is now 5. And that's how you go through it. And you'd always be incrementing your right pointer as that's your current pointer. And then you'd change your left pointer to the right pointer only in the circumstance where you actually get your right pointer being less than your left pointer. And you continue through until your loop ends. And then to continue through, you'd also do the next check. Your right pointer is incremented here. Even though you have the correct answer, the program would still continue through. So 4, and then so you got 1, and then your left pointer is there, and your right pointer is there. So right minus left, the prices of right minus left, 4 minus 1 equals 3, which is not greater than 5. So you do not change anything. And then after this is all done, your right pointer, every single loop you would be checking if your right pointer is greater than the array size. So you wouldn't want it to get past your array size. So you'd be checking if right pointer is greater than prices dot size. But in a while loop, you'd be doing R is less than prices dot size and keeping it and keep going until it's out of that condition. So it'd be technically right is greater than or equal to prices dot size is a condition that would exit that loop. Into the code portion of this, we'd want to do, and as said earlier, you'd want 3 different values. Your left index, which is 0, and right index equals 1, and then you'd want your max profit. Let's just go ahead. Max profit equals 0. So then you would go through a while loop and check to see if it gets to the end of the while loop. So while you're in the array, so while your right index is less than prices dot size, you continue into each of the next values. So first check you'd want to do is if your prices at your right index is less than your prices at your left index. Then you'd want to do left equals right, and then you would increment R++. But this is going to be incremented at the end, so I put a comment. We can just do it all at once because every single condition and check would increment the right pointer. So left equals right, and then you'd want to check. So that just makes sure you're not doing a negative value, and else if your prices at your right index minus your prices at your left index is greater than your current max profit. So that would just be checking. Let me just add that. So this is getting your profit of the current values of your current time. And then you would want to make the max profit equal to this thing. And then also in this, you do incrementing your right pointer to move to the next day or whatever the next value you're getting a price at. And then you'd want to do else right plus plus. Right plus plus. But you don't really need this else, so let's just get rid of that and increment right plus plus in every single case. And this would only be going through your array once, so this would be O to the n. And after the while loop, you'd return your max profit, which would store the value of your greatest max profit. So that should work. And let's see. Okay, there we go. There we go. That is what you would do for this case.